Today we have an insane story about a mother and a child who was kicked out of a home due to some outstanding events. We'll talk more on that story, but first, am I the jerk for taking away my son's access to games, for deleting all my progress from all of my games? I have a very spoiled 13-year-old son we will call Junior. In our home, we absolutely love gaming when we have the chance to. Junior has access to all of our game systems. He mostly plays the PS5 but occasionally will play the Switch. So a big rule I have for my Switch, he broke his on accident, is absolutely no Fortnite. He has it on every system he can get it on, but I don't want it on mine, nor do have the space. I'm currently at home with a very needy newborn who won't nap unless I'm holding him. This is after 5 months of strict bed rest while pregnant. As you can imagine, I've been getting a lot of time to play on the Switch, but when Junior asked to use it to play a game, I gave it up. Upon getting it back this morning, I went to play one of my games, Stardew, to find half of my games uninstalled and Fortnite on it. I was aggravated, but whatever. I was stressed and just wanted to relax, so I deleted it and its data. When I launched my game, all of my progress was gone. I checked my other games to find the same. Long story short, I had a stern talk with Junior and grounded him from all of the systems. As you can imagine, he was furious. He yelled, went to his room and slammed his door. All of which woke the baby. Next thing I knew, I got a call from my mom saying games are meant for kids and I needed to get over it and give her grandbaby his games back. I told her absolutely not and went and grounded Junior from his phone as well. My mom is still blowing up my phone and threatening to come save her grandbaby since I can't grow up and parent properly. Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for manspreading on a plane? A few months ago I was alone on a long flight, about 6 hours. I had a middle seat between a young woman in the window seat, and a woman on the aisle. I'm tall and I'm never comfortable on planes. My knees always dig into the seat in front and it can be quite painful. I usually try to take a walk around the airport before flights to stretch my legs, but neglected to this time. It was Spirit Airlines, so even less legroom than usual. About half an hour after takeoff I found my left knee inching to the side for the sweet relief of open space, specifically, the no man's land in between seats, level with the shared armrest. But I wasn't paying attention to my knee the entire time. I too concede it's possible that at some point I was occupying space that rightfully belonged to my window seat neighbor. All was well for about 2 hours. At this point, the woman in the window seat called over the flight attendant. She asked her something like, could you tell him to keep his freaking leg in his own freaking seat? With horror, I understood she was talking about me. I instantly retracted my leg in deep shame. She added something about his enormous thing. My understanding was that it was meant to be a snide reference to the idea that spreading your legs is about male genital comfort. But she wasn't speaking very clearly, and the flight attendant didn't seem to understand her. The FA asked her some sort of clarifying question, but she didn't answer, and eventually the attendant went away. I had been shocked into silence, but when the FA left I frantically began to apologize. But she refused to speak to me. She acted like she didn't hear me. Instead she started furiously texting on her phone. Yeah, texting during a flight. I thought it was weird too. Our seat woman said she had some extra space on her side I could use, but then promptly went to sleep. Oh well. I tried again to apologize to window seat woman, but again she ignored me. I went from embarrassed to confused. I kept replaying it in my head, wondering why she didn't simply ask me to move my knee instead of calling over the attendant. I started sneaking peeks at her phone. My defense is that I was baffled by her behavior and wanted answers. I'll admit that I was being judgmental, too. Here's why. She spent the last 3 hours of the flight watching TikToks about shaming obese people and texting someone she called Poppy. I didn't see all of it, but a significant portion was definitely about me. She wrote, men really do be too much sometimes, with a laughing emoji. She ignored me the whole rest of the flight and I ignored her. I got a good but painful workout of whatever muscle it is that keeps your knees together. Am I the jerk for kicking my coworker and her child out of my flat? So I own a 3-bed 2-bathroom flat that's near the city center of where I live. It's really convenient as it's only a 10-minute commute to where I work in the car and I can walk to the city in 15 minutes. Now, my coworker just went through a nasty breakup and because she was living in her boyfriend's house, had to move out when they broke up. We were getting lunch at work and I could tell she was upset. So I asked what was wrong and she explained what had happened and was extremely upset that she didn't know where she was going to go as her parents live over 2 hours away. So I offered her and her child a place to stay, just until she got back in her feet and found somewhere to live. She was extremely grateful and everything was great to start with. I didn't make her pay rent as I own my flat. My parents bought it for me as a 20th birthday present. And I know, with the cost of living crisis, that times are hard. We made an agreement that we would go 60-40 on food and utilities as there's 2 of them, and only 1 of me, and she was completely happy with this agreement. Now, it's been 7 months since she's moved in and things have got a bit rocky. She's been behind on bills for 3 months, and keeps saying that she's struggling as she's been taking less hours at work as she is finding it difficult to find childcare that doesn't cost an arm and a leg as her ex has pretty much been MIA and it works out cheaper for her to work less and put her child in nursery 3 days a week instead of 5. And whilst I can afford to pay for all of the bills as I have a higher position at work and more hours I don't want to be taken advantage of, I don't mind helping her out or spotting her some money, which I have done in the past. I feel as though she has no incentive to pay bills anytime soon either. It gets worse, she's now taken to wanting to get out of the house and meet up with some of her friends regularly, 2 to 3 times a week, and expects me to watch her child. I have nothing against her child, I love her and she's a good kid, but I'm being treated as an unpaid babysitter on the weekends and some weeknights. I put my foot down 3 weeks ago and said that if she doesn't pay me at least half of the 3 months' bills that she owes me by Thursday that her and her child would have to leave my house and find somewhere else. Well, there was no payment, so when I got home from work I took all their stuff, boxed it up, and when she got home from picking her child up, told her to get out. However, I went into work today and my other coworker said that she's been going around telling people I'm maliciously making her and her child homeless because we had a petty argument, so now I've got the whole office on my butt. I really don't care about the bills she owes anymore, but I don't appreciate the fact that she's going around trashing me. Was I unreasonable in kicking her out? Edit. Thank you all so much for the advice. I especially appreciate the people calling me an butthole for the legal proceedings side. I mean that genuinely because I didn't even think about that. I'm going to give her an official eviction notice, using a Section 8 notice, so I've filled in all of the paperwork and am waiting for it to be approved, which allows between 2 weeks and 2 months eviction notice. In addition, I do think I worded the payment I expected from her wrong. I asked her just over 3 weeks ago to pay an expected payment last Thursday, so she had 3 weeks to get the money, not under one. Sorry for the confusion. Also, I've gone into work today and tried to just stay out of the drama. I have plenty of friends at work that know the actual story to compare to the ones that have been told the fabricated one. I'm going to wait until she's been evicted or left my flat completely and then go to HR if I still feel as though it's a hostile working environment, or if I still care anymore at that point, because I may just get bored or people may just get over it, just as I don't want to get into a legal web of confusion. Thank you all so much. Am I the jerk for pretending to not know who my mother is? Occupations and info has been changed for privacy reasons. I work at a bank and my mom works as a life coach. A huge problem is that my mom has been referring her clients to me. She tells them where I work, my name, and even shows them pictures of me, and saying that I can give them a high interest rate on accounts or low interest rates on loans and other stuff. She makes up a random number for the rates and guarantees I can give it to her clients. This is a lie and I cannot alter rates in any way whatsoever. The clients would end up getting super upset at me, saying things like, "Your mom said you could." As if her words hold truer than mine, the person who actually works at the bank, and keeps trying to get me to give them the rate my mom told them. They have even complained to my manager. Thankfully, my manager commends me for handling everything professionally. My manager does not know my mom is doing this and thinks I'm just getting an unusually high number of entitled people. My mom does not seem to have any repercussions by doing this. Her clients might sometimes whine that they couldn't get the rate and she would be sympathetic and the clients just stay with her. She is good at her actual job and I think the clients think she was trying to be nice to them by referring them to me, and it's not her fault I couldn't give them rates, so her clients stay with her. This has gone on for 2 years. I have talked to this about her very sternly and tried different ways to get her to stop every time I get one of her referrals, and she does not stop. I'm getting ready for a promotion and I need this to stop now. So now, whenever her clients come to me and say my mom referred them to me and said I could get them so and so rate, I would give them a very serious look and say, there must be some mistake. My mother died 6 years ago. Some have told me that she showed pictures of me to them, and I would ask them to show me my mom's information and they would show me her Instagram and website. I would write down her IG handle and URL on my notepad and then tell the clients that I have never seen this woman in my life and I do not know how she got my pictures. I would ask what kind of pictures does this woman have of me and some other questions, and then say I will see what I can do about this, but to get back to the client's request, I can only give them the rates available. Most of them get really uncomfortable and make an excuse to leave. Since then, I've no longer received any complaints. Later, I met up with my mom and she told me she has been losing a lot of clients and doesn't know why. I said maybe it's because I've been more stern towards the clients she refers to me. I didn't tell her the whole story though. She's quite mad at me but has agreed to finally stop referring them to me. I am a bit worried that people now think my mom is some sort of crazy stalker though. Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for refusing to take my girlfriend to nice places because she eats like a kid? My girlfriend is an incredibly picky eater. Like I said in my title, she eats like she is 10 years old. In fact, I'll give a short list of things she refuses to eat. Unflavored water, fish, excluding fried shrimp, anything with bones, cheese other than sharp cheddar, spinach, onions, garlic, pasta without red sauce, eggs, spicy food, aioli, ketchup, potatoes, other than French fries, pastries with fruit, citrus, sausage or any non-American food. This compares to me, someone who grew up in multiple different regions of the US and lived in abroad for a few years, so I'm a bit more adventurous when it comes to food. Whenever me and my girlfriend go out somewhere nice, she ends up getting the same meals, usually either a burger or chicken tenders and fries. We could be going to an authentic Nepalese restaurant and she will get the French fries and white rice. To me it's kind of embarrassing to go to a restaurant where there is a dress code and for her to order chicken tenders and fries. It especially bothers me that since I typically pay, I end up paying $15 for chicken tenders that I could get from the freezer section at Walmart for $5. Recently in our area a very nice dinner place opened up and my girlfriend has been dying to go. I took a look at the place and the menu and saw that it looked nice but the food was kind of pricey. She said she was probably gonna get chicken tenders as per usual. I asked her what's the point of going then if I can toss some tenders in the air fryer for her and not spend a ridiculous amount of money on it. She asked why I had an attitude about this and I told her that I thought it was a waste of time and money to go to a nice place to get little kid food. She interpreted this as me calling her a little kid. I clarified that I wasn't calling her a child, however it is kinda childish for her to eat the way she does. I also said that if she's gonna order food we can make it home, Therese, not any point in us going anywhere. This led to an argument about me thinking I'm better than her. Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for telling my sister she is too heavy and lazy to watch my kid? I have a daughter, Rebecca. She is 5 years old now and can be quite a handful at times. I have never had any problems catching up to her if she were to run off. She doesn't really run off anywhere in the first place. She prefers to just sit in area and play with toys. My sister is heavier, probably around 250 pounds, and growing up we didn't have the best relationship. She was 10 years older and she usually saw me as the annoying kid. We started to slowly reconnecting this year, and she got to know my kid. Overall I thought it was going great. This week we had Rebecca sleep over her auntie so they could bond more. It was my sister's idea. I came and picked up Rebecca today and she was on a child leash. I was shocked. She was on a leash basically since an hour after we left yesterday at her house. I confronted her about it and she told me Rebecca was too fast to keep up with. That this was the easiest solution. This started an argument and resulted me telling her that she is too heavy and lazy to watch my child. That can't keep up with a kid that liked to sit and play with toys, so you put her on a leash. She started defending herself more and called me an butthole. I told her she will never be alone or probably seeing Rebecca for a good long time. My mom called and she heard about it. She is on my sister's side. Am I the jerk? That's all the time we have. If you would like to hear another insane Reddit story, check out my latest video. With that said, I'll see you next time with more stories.